We look at the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, and you've seen some fireworks start to occur. But there was a few levels that we told you about when it comes to supply and demand on the futures that have led stocks to push back into highs. Now, what if I told you right now the SPY is outperforming the Nasdaq? Tech has led the way. And then we look at the after hours. What if I told you the craze on AI and semiconductors continues on, with one of the biggest names smashing earnings and then one of the second biggest names reporting tomorrow? You need to be looking at all this data, because I'm telling you right now, you are in a great and primed opportunity to be making an absolute bag. Let's get to work. Number one, we look really quickly at the Nasdaq. I'm not wasting any time, as you guys know. And I want to tell you real quick. Again, we are releasing the text alerts very soon, but we sent this out yesterday at 4 in the afternoon. NQ coming down to demand right here. This was texted out to everyone. Tomorrow morning, rundown will be covering, you could see 1725 if you break this level. Well, you didn't. You held your key level, that demand zone, as you can see from that time, and then you bounce and you make higher lows, and we proceed to break above 17.6 and run into 17.7, and now NQ back at 52-week highs, trying to break out, trying to do its thing. You look over at ES, you have the overall pennant. We've been charting, viewing every single day, and you're breaking out, and the daily looks a little bit more clear here. As you can see, the higher lows established and finally breaking out. This is what you wanted to happen. And then on top of it, again, the news just kept coming in. Here, almost into the after hours, look what happens here. The U.S. Treasury expects to borrow $760 billion in January through March, down $55 billion from October's estimate, meaning we're borrowing less money. Could this be good? Could it? Again, maybe the estimates were high, but still, this is overall good news with the trend that we're in. Okay, and the health of the economy. So these are really big things you have to be watching. You have those earnings also coming up over the next few days. Again, tomorrow after hours, Microsoft, AMD, Alphabet, major. Now, we already saw two SMCI destroy on earnings, and you go look at what they're doing here in the after hours, and they're up almost 10%, almost $50. This name, just to give you a visual, is up almost $200 in the past 3 weeks. An absolute monster. Okay, so when we look at this, again, a lot of things are happening that we needed to happen. And again, I do believe Wednesday, I think we have the answers for FOMC. Now, with FOMC, I'm not going to say this is end all be all and that this is what's going to happen. I'm going to give you my opinion. Okay, now trading into FOMC, I still think you need to be cautious. Okay, you have a lot of earnings. You don't know for sure that they're going to beat. And a lot of you guys are just kind of YOLOing, and be careful, right? However, this is, again, my personal opinion. I see no way in the world that FOMC goes bad. I'm telling you right now. Again, I've made some bold call-outs the past few weeks, and this is maybe the most bold. I see zero reality in which Powell can be a hawk or a bear in this case to want to talk about raising rates or anything along those lines. I think based on CPI, PCE, PPI, and everything in between, I think we are on track to cut maybe summer, or if not earlier. And I think Powell doesn't say that, but insinuates to how good the market's been. I firmly believe that. With where PCE came out from 3% expected to 2.9 actual, that was a monster core beat. Monster. I don't know why more people aren't talking about it. So when we look at that, that's my viewpoint. Now, I'll still say Thursday, right? You have big earnings. You have Amazon, Apple, a few others. So I'm not discounting those. But I am telling you, if how FOMC goes is how I believe it will, I'm telling you right now, I'll be live covering it. So, this could be the beginning of a pretty monster run over the next 3-4 weeks. You heard it here first. That's my personal opinion. Okay. Now we're going to go into some stocks and some equities. And I'm going to show you some big names that we're liking and how I think you could be really thriving on these as well. Now, number one, let's go really quick over SPY and Q so you guys have the visual there. Now, again, we look at SPY. Something that I posted for Discord earlier today was the ascending triangle that was playing out here, as you can see. Let me get rid of the 90 million, the VWAP, so it's a little bit easier. And you can also bring the chart prime levels up. So we look here. Okay, number one. Also, too, if you guys are interested, Edgeful, right? Well, actually, we're going to come back into this, right? Again, so you had that nice breakout, right? You're in the ascending triangle from highs, you broke out, boom. SPY, it's at all-time highs again. Congratulations, you're doing your thing. Qs, you're lagging. Like I said, you kind of had that flag, you could argue. You got back above previous highs and you're pushing back up. I do think if everything opens up correct, I personally think Qs break all-time highs very quickly early in the morning, especially with what's driving us. The fact that SMCI is beating is leading into NVIDIA running, AMD is moving, everything that you wanted to move there. Microsoft is also moving. These are all these names are moving, so I don't see a world in which Qs don't continue up also. So understand that when you're looking at Qs and SPY, very important. Also, IWM back at 200. You're looking for a break and amount of this level. If that happens, again, you are tap dancing to your local bank. You can see our chart prime liquidity levels are also popping up here. Again, very important to be seeing what's happening here. A great reaction off the 200 SMA. You're looking to break and mount. Exactly what you want. If you want that link to chart prime, the link is down below, so make sure you check them out as well. Now, again, before we go into equities, I want to talk about FOMC. So this is FOMC on Edgeful, and we can look really quick at the data that's happened here. And this is just showing the movement. I'm going to show you this again tomorrow, so you'll be reminded. But again, understand on Wednesday, you're probably not going to get the greatest price action to trade. Just understand that. This is SPY. So basically from market open into an hour before FOMC is released, you literally move within like a 50-cent range on average of the past year. That's terrible. That's on the positive days. On the negative days, again, it's still very, you can still see it's like a 50-cent range, and then data comes out, and the negative days have definitely outperformed the positive days, right? Now, we can see after the data comes out, you get a lot of volatility, the positive and the negative. But again, I will still say, it's important to understand, going into FOMC, you're not going to want to trade this. I'll make that really clear. Probably don't trade it. It's really, really clear. If you want to get more information, you get a free 7 days on them. The link is down below, so check them out. But again, let's get into equities. Now, I want to be clear before we jump into those, right? I want to be just really clear. Again, if earnings come out bad on anything, it could give you a little bit of a sludge in the market, a little slowdown. Understand that really easily and quickly. Okay, that's number one. FOMC as well, trading into that. You probably don't want to be too aggressive pre-FOMC. So I'm giving you an opinion on these things, but again, it's on the basis that FOMC goes well. I personally am not going to be holding a lot of names through FOMC or through earnings. That's very risky. I understand that after this week, the amount of earnings that are coming out that are less influential, it's a major bullet point. This week is our most important earnings week, and things could quickly seesaw back and forth if things go bad. If Apple reports bad and Amazon reports well, it's kind of a coin flip for which one performs better in the market. Okay, so be able to recognize that before you're able to trade here. I had someone DM me today, and they basically said, I've been taking trades because I'm bored. I'm just like, what are we talking about? Why? I mean, is this a video game, or is this your real life? You're trying to make money. What are you doing? Be able to make that difference with how you're trading and your strategy. So there's a few names I want to go over, but the first one we're talking about is NVIDIA and what's happening here, and you're running like a madman. Now, we sent this out on text alerts and in Discord, but if anyone that's signed up for text alerts, it obviously gets to you quicker than Discord. Obviously, this guy, just from the text alert that was mentioned and the trade idea that was called out here on NVIDIA, the thing ran like crazy. Talked about the amount of 620 and where it was going, and now in the after hours, it's going berserk. Made like $2,000 off that. Now, again, today as well, I want to be really transparent. I got into Mara, and I always tell you guys never trade Mara, trade Coinbase. I literally got slapped on it. Okay, so it's not all rainbows and unicorns, right? Want to be transparent, but yeah, again, NVIDIA definitely outweighed anything to do with Mara. But congratulations to all those guys there. Now, going back into these names, NVIDIA, what's happening here? You're mounting those previous highs, and you're going to go, you're in price discovery. I can't really tell you anything here. As long as you get the break, retest, you're still looking to go long, especially with SMCI earnings. Be careful overnight with AMD. That's all I can say there. AMD, I don't want to go too much over this, but again, I've said over and over and over and over and over and over via Twitter, via here, everywhere. You want to buy at 174.7. You bounce over and over, and you're bouncing back up. Surprise! Congratulations if you traded that. You're up a good amount there. Meta, I told you guys was my top stock into 400. You hit it. Congratulations, you're at 404 now. I have a new top stock that I'm watching as well that I'm gonna mention in this video. So make sure you're paying close attention as well. Apple, less interested. Don't care about them into earnings. Honestly, they look bearish. You broke. You're retesting and probably gonna push down. We also caught this one this morning as well. Shout out to jbravo on that one. Tesla. I've been pretty bearish on Tesla. In the short term though, okay, let me say a few things. Swing aspect. I don't want to swing Tesla to the upside yet. Okay. Like long-term swings, nothing like that. But in the short term, I can agree that Tesla looks good. Really quick, let's discuss. So your key level here, about 187 roughly, 186.5. You broke above it, you mounted after this morning started off really weak, but you broke above and it was a liquidity level from chart prime, as you can see, right? You break, you retest, and you shoot back up, and you're bull flagging, you're up in the after hours. Now, your swing low from October right there is target number 194. But you have a daily gap now at 206. I mean, honestly, with the way the market's moving and all the momentum, I expect Tesla to start trying to fill the gap. I hate to even say it, but Tesla looks really good. Above 194, you're looking for the gap fill to 206. Be on the lookout there. Anyone in Discord that went long on this as well, congratulations. 194 is the short-term target. Then again, 206 is the next one. And they're still pretty cheap. Now, my favorite name out there right now, it's Netflix, ladies and gentlemen. It is Netflix. And you're like, Tyler, you're at all-time highs. What are you? I mean, you're not at all-time highs, but you're parabolic. What are you talking about? Guys, I am not lying to you when I say this. Really quick, just follow me. This is crazy. So again, in 2021 and 2020, you traded in a range. This was your range, okay? Really easy to see. 580 basically down to 480, 470. That was your range. Okay? Now look. You are playing a very interesting game here on Netflix. If you mount above your highs, which I think is very likely if things go well this week, which, guys, I very likely, okay? If you break and mount, I believe you're going to all-time highs. It's a personal opinion here. Netflix's numbers, their earnings have been fantastic, and they're probably one of the most bullish names out on the market. Even on the downside this morning, Netflix was strong. It was positive. It was bullish. Again, I love this name. If it breaks and mounts 580, it is one of the best plays, and I believe this could run past 620, 630. I'm being dead serious. It could go crazy. Keep it on your chart. Keep watching it. That's all I'll say. I love Netflix. It's my new number one. Now, Microsoft, you're at all-time highs. You can't really do nothing here. You're just running like crazy. Congratulations if you bought these names and you had them. Like, I really I'm happy for everyone. But yeah, you can't do nothing else here. Amazon, same thing. You're just running. Again, we said it. Once you mounted 158.5, your next target is to start filling the gap and pushing into like 167. So yeah, Amazon, they have earnings on Thursday. You're probably going to do that as well. Now, really quick, okay. Last name, Coinbase. Bitcoin is bouncing back with fury. This was my only mistake on the day. I'm really pissed off about it. I want to be transparent with you guys, right? So Bitcoin, I knew it was bullish. I went long on Mara when you were flagging here, like at like 443K right here, right? And Mara got slapped. Okay. I knew it was aggressive, whatever. I should have just grabbed Coinbase and not been so greedy because I wanted to make more on less money. Coinbase is mounting 132. It's incredibly bullish. Your next stop on Coinbase, you have target number 1 at 140. Your next target is around 150. I genuinely believe you could hit 150 by the end of the week, maybe even higher. Do your own research, do your own DD. Again, if everything goes well with FOMC, I believe Bitcoin's going to soar. Bitcoin's already soaring, and I think Coinbase is going to come right back into this, and their earnings are going to be bullish as hell based on what's happened from last report to now. So also what I'd be looking at there, you can also see you bounce from our level down here and again, the chart prime liquidity level down there. So again, everything's working out fine and perfect. Now I want to just continue to say, okay, you don't want to just go in balls to the wall, full send risk. You want to have a little bit of like self-control. Okay, you want to have a little bit of self-control. but I like where we're at. We look good. If you want to gamble on FOMC, gun to my head, I have to pick. I really believe FOMC is going to go well. I believe Microsoft, I believe Amazon, I believe AMD, I believe Google are all going to do well in earnings. It's a personal opinion. I think you are primed right now. And if these things play out correctly, you're going to absolutely rip over the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'm telling you, if the things play out right, okay? And also on top of that, you don't have to get hyper aggressive. You can wait for these things to play out. You'll miss a little bit, but you'll still have enough leg room and run room to run on all these names as well. It's not just going to happen in 2 days and you're going to be done. We say this over and over and over. Be patient if you have to, but again, you're going to want to be ready for all the gains that are potentially going to be able to make over the next 2 to 3 weeks. I'm telling you guys, I can't get more excited about this. I'll see you guys tomorrow.